Hello, I'm Andy, and I'm going to talk to you about moles on your palm. They could be black, they could be red. There's no such thing as a good mole on your palm. So if you have moles suddenly spotted on your palm or on the fingers, on the side of the palm, the fingers, tell yourself that some kind of bad luck is approaching you. Now, this particular diagram I've shown you now is to do with your, has got to do with your area of the lower palm. So if you have, that's where I've shaded it with black lines. Now that's the area of Neptune and Pluto. So these two planets are going to behave very badly in your horoscope if you have moles, whether red or black, in this black shaded area. That's the first thing. Secondly, I've marked a line called B, which is a line of Saturn. It starts from your middle finger and comes down to your palm. Some believe that it starts from the bottom of the palm to the top. All right. Now, if you have in that shaded area where the line of Saturn starts, then if you have a mole on the line of Saturn or near the line of Saturn in this shaded area, tell yourself that difficulties in your early beginnings are going to be felt. So if you see anybody's palm with this kind of moles in that area, they are going to have a very, very difficult time in the earlier part of their life. Now it also means in different way that sometime in the earlier part of your life, sometime in the ages of 26 or 27 or 28, that the danger of a divorce is going to be felt. Divorce can be mainly a word used for personal relationship areas. So be careful that you will have a disturbance in your marriage area or in your romance area. If it's marriage, it might just move to be a divorce. Now, if you see your Saturn line forking means splitting into two, like I've drawn, then you're going to have difficulties in partnerships of business, and you will be a difficult partner basically in most areas of your life. So all these marks in that shaded area of Neptune and Pluto can produce many problems. Now I've drawn a line in red which is coming out from the shaded area and moving towards the area marked B. That is your amount of moon. And so this very thin red line I've drawn now is called the line of Via Lascivia. It can produce difficulties in your old age. It can produce addiction to medicine. It can produce addiction to alcohol. When I see these lines, this kind of line on a man or woman's hand, they have a problem with addiction. The worst, of course, is to be addicted to medicine, which means you probably will have chronic illnesses of some kind of line. Now, if this line of Via Lascivia, this thin red line that I've joined in a curve, now if there is a mole on that thin red line, and if the mole is red or black, if it's a red moles, normally they show fever moles, which means health related. Black moles can go across the board, area of your job, business, finances, personal life, marriage, romance, and health included as well. So if there is a mole on this thin red line called Via Lascivia, then tell yourself that these sort of addictions or these sort of problems in health are going to become very, very severe. This line of Via Lascivia is also seen on people who have a secretive nature about them, and they like to be going into secret love affairs or going to secret kinds of business and staying underground in such things they are doing hidden most of the time. Then there is an issue here that the secretiveness in this person is very apparent and very active. Okay, now I've drawn a line called red. If you, in this shaded area, if you have a mole anywhere in that shaded area, is going to affect your lifeline. This line called A is generally known as the lifeline, but I also call it the line of immunity. Old-time palmists, they look at this line and they gauge your length of life, whether short or long, depending on the line A, could it be short or long. But I don't agree with that. I've seen people with short lines which are under A, and they live to a very ripe old age of 60. And I've seen people with very long lines of A called the lifeline, who get knocked off around in their 30s. So it's really the line of immunity, your inner strength to fight off physical problems, mental problems, and emotional problems. Once this mole is seen near that line A or on this line A, then you're going to have 3 areas of your life very vulnerable in any stage of your life. Of course, if they are very low, like the way I've drawn where it's shaded, then it's normally to do from the age of 52 onwards. In Kabbalistic astrology, the age of 52 onwards, they have guardians of old age planets, so it's considering that you are entering your old age very early. Maybe people didn't live very long at that time. In Kabbalistic astrology, all the planets used are put on your palms as well. And so, if you have moles on the shoulder area, it means that old age issues are going to be very bad in health areas or situations. Why? Because the planet Neptune also is very controlling in that area, and much of Neptune is to do with your old age. Pluto comes earlier, so the Pluto ages are to represent your early ages. So early ages and old ages are being affected to the extreme if you have moles on these areas. So be very careful. It would be best for me to Skype with you. I charge USD 50 for a Skype session of 90 minutes. And during this 90 minutes, I will tackle your next 5 or 6 years in detail. And I will do that by knowing your date of birth and your time of birth, and looking at your palms and face reading you as well while we Skype, and also using Kabbalistic tarot if you want. So go ahead, if you have these marks of moles, or even if you don't, have a Skype session with me so that you can get your next 5 or 6 years to be the best in your life and get the recognition and the success that you want in your next 5 or 6 years. Go to Facebook, go to Skype, send me a message, send me an email if you want. Let's get down to finding a date, and it's only for 50 USD for the next 5 or 6 years in all areas of your life I will tackle. Until then, thank you and good luck.